you got trouble for the Boston Red Sox and Josh Beckett. Sorry. The Red Sox themselves have not been playing good, but neither is Beckett. Yesterday was actually his first loss to the Yankees since August 8th, I believe 2010. But this in Yankee Stadium, not all overall, but in Yankee Stadium, I believe this is his first loss against the Yankees since August 8th, 2010. But yet this year he is 0-4 in his last 6 starts. So we're talking overall, not just against the Yankees. Overall, 0-4 in his last 6 starts and 1-7 in 13 starts since May 20th. He's given up 7 home runs in his last 3 starts, covering the last 16 and a third innings. AKA, I don't think Josh Beckett's the same guy we're all used to. Now, he always has pitched better in the playoffs than he has pitched in the regular season, but still, Pixel makes a good point. He could be trade bait for next year. He could be trade bait once they hit the offseason as well. I don't know if he's in a Red Sox uniform next year. I really don't. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if you also see a lot of the players that you've watched with the Red Sox over the past decade, give or take a year or two, leaving. Mainly for the fact that a lot of these guys don't like Bobby V. They're not a fan of him. And I don't think the Red Sox as a team, as an organization, is ready to give up on Valentine just yet. I think they're willing to give him a year or two as their head coach to see what he can build and what kind of team he puts together. Obviously, it all started when they got rid of numerous guys off of this team, but you got, what's his name, that went over to Chicago. Once they got rid of him, in my opinion, you just sort of knew that this Red Sox team wasn't going to stay together. They may have their World Series win and they got past their, decades of being cursed, but I think they're moving on, in my opinion. I think they're going to ride with Bobby Valentine. Now, Boston as a team has lost 8 out of 12 and trail the Yankees now by 13.5 games, and they're out of the wild card race by 7.5 games. The odds of them making the playoffs are slim to none, but I will say if they do make the playoffs, I'll be very, very impressed. And I mean very, very impressed. I do not see the Boston Red Sox being good enough to make playoffs. And even if they get there, they pull off a wild card spot. And I definitely don't think they're going to win the wild card game. But you never know. My apologies. I was not in the chat room for a minute. Pixel Junkie makes a great point. Kevin Youkilis, who I was mentioning before, got traded to Chicago. He's probably going to make the playoffs while the Red Sox don't. And then Eric throws into the chat room that Beckett, Lester, and Buchholz have all underperformed. Crawford isn't living up to the contract. And Bobby V is not a good fit. That, AKA, that is the perfect way to look at Boston right now. That is for sure. Pixel also mentions that Jamal Crawford won't be back until next August. Arguably the worst investment by the Red Sox. He has to have Tommy John surgery, which I did hear that they weren't sure if he was going to do it or not do it, but apparently they've made that decision.